Well, for Tech Tuesday, I just really want to talk about how robots are changing everything we do. Specifically, I was reading an article about how hospitals are using robots for sanitation. It's almost like a glorified Roomba or something like this. It's just a box that comes in, and it uses even infrared light to detect germs on the ground and on surfaces, and you can actually just program it to come in and do a full sanitation of a room. It's just really relevant right now because of the sickness environment that we have. So, new solutions to new problems create technology. But at the same time, I would say that there's a real potential that robotics are going to take a much enhanced role in society much sooner than we expected. And that is because, well, perhaps for some time to come, significant time to come, face-to-face meetings and personal exchanges are not going to be so attractive for people, and it's not going to be a desirable situation to be in a group full of a lot of people. And that includes shopping, that includes business meetings, that includes functional group experiences where you're there for a reason. It's not like entertainment. You're not going to send a robot to the baseball game to experience it for you, so you're still going to want to do that. But, going to the store and picking stuff off the shelf could be something that a robot could do in the future. Cleaning your apartment so that it is truly properly cleaned and they have sensors to see how clean surfaces are. I'm sure that would be a very attractive robotic product that people could buy. This house has been inspected and there's no coronavirus on any surfaces, so to speak. You could have a robot that just senses germs on the surface of vegetables and fruit. Apparently, this is something we're supposed to be worried about now. Could you handle a vegetable and get sick from it? Maybe. There could be some device that scans the surface of this product and either alerts you to the risks or the dangers or the germ content, or solves that problem for you. However, I dare say that if we knew how much germs was on every single thing around us, we probably wouldn't use anything. So maybe this product wouldn't be so welcome for everyone. But if it would also do the cleaning, here's a table, is it dirty? Yes, there's dirt over here, there's germs over here. Well, can you clean it? Yes, I can clean it. So there you go. That's a nice product to have. It provides to you a very valuable service. So I think, especially in surgery, robotics is starting to become much more popular. I can imagine in auto repair or certain types of construction, robots might be much more useful. Even if they weren't cost effective a few years ago or even a few weeks ago, suddenly it becomes much more attractive to invest that money because it's much less likely that your robotic workforce or assistants or support team will become decapacitated by a biological epidemic. So we will include that article specifically about healthcare, robotics being used in healthcare. And I have a few other articles I would like to include as well. But, as far as what it means to somebody who's interested in making a business, I would say that if you can figure out types of robots that would be useful in the public and a general sense of how they would work, this belt turns this gear and this thing is moved to grab something else. You need to understand the purpose of the mechanics and, this much at least in this industry. But it's just like building a workforce. You need to know what the different parts of the robot do in order to accomplish a task. A robot is essentially a small company, just of smaller robotic parts. It's just like our body is a company of organs, actually. They work together to complete a business, which is you, which is your life. Profitable or not. So we'll But it's just something we haven't thought a lot about, and I think it's going to take a front seat in our future as a result of what's going on. Something to note. So, because it's not just about what the robot does, it's, there's advanced ways that you could interact with that robot. Augmented reality. You could look into a screen and see what the robot sees, or it could be some sort of glasses that you wear, and you can look at what the robot is doing at all times as your companion moving around you. But even more than robotics, I think augmented reality could have a future in terms of video games and this term gamification of basic tasks, basic interfaces. The way that you interact with your robot helpers could be something similar to the way you interact with characters in a game. So much so that it could almost become like your first-hand experience. You're looking through the eyes of the robot, like we just said, or you're interacting with an elaborate interface in order to coordinate the specific task that this robot must do. So if you want to know where I would invest my money right now, if I was about to put $1 million into the stock market at the end of this on a long-term play, I would be willing to bet, I guess you would say, that augmented reality just got a 10x boost in terms of how fast it's going to develop as an industry, especially during this time of quarantine. I mean, virtual reality and living a different life than the one you're living is a very attractive proposition right now, and especially if you can do it from the comfort of your own home. You don't have to go to a cinema of some sort or an arcade of some sort. Now the devices and the the equipment that you need is affordable enough that it can be in your house. So I think there's a tremendous business opportunity for anyone thinking about what to do next, to develop content and interface. And if you want to really get into the nuts and bolts of it, the coding behind the virtual reality experience that our culture is probably past due to develop. So I would say that is one of the greater business lessons and opportunity identifications that become much more apparent in these specific times.